It's now the last leg of the Daily Rundown, and time to look at some of the more quirky stories that have been making the news. And it's the first time I've heard them, so if they're rubbish, you know whose fault it is? Producer Emmy. That's if they're rubbish. Right, our first story is, on Sunday night, a club in London. Imagine the scene. A couple danced the night away until 5 a.m. Sexy voice now. The pair, who were in their 70s, were in London to visit their daughter and decided to enjoy the capital's dancing culture. And yes, we have a picture. This is beautiful. Have you heard about this story?
I actually heard they were in their 80s, not their 70s.
80s,
really?
Yeah. They're a couple that came across from Poland, because the daughter's moved over here. And they don't really speak much English. And they booked tickets for Fabric, which is a big club in London with a fantastic dancey bounce floor.
Right.
And they turned up at the box office, and all the staff are looking at each other, going, "Well, they're quite old, this lot." Yeah. They went in. The club's owners got them drinks. Were really, really like, "Oh, you're enjoying yourself." They were loving it. They were like, "Yes," in muted Polish English. They got taken to the VIP section. Yeah. To get looked after properly. Yeah. Then the owner, whoever was running that night, went away. Came back, they'd gone. And he's thinking, probably didn't think it was their thing. You looked down over the balcony and they were going full on techno belting, loving it.
They were waltzing.
They were waltzing, yeah. They were doing ballroom dancing to techno.
Yeah, techno.
Loads of people were taking photos. There's some fantastic stuff on Twitter and Facebook about this couple. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, the club got them a taxi home. Wow. It's beautiful. And the rest of the story is they do this a lot. It's not like a publicity thing. They go to clubs. They just like finding out different clubs. So
why not?
You could imagine them, slugging on a can of Red Stripe, or the lagers are available, in the corner of a club. I love that.
Yeah.
Can she twerk?
Well, if you can go down that far, she might not be able to get back up. But that's great.
I hope I'm doing that when I'm 80.
That's sort of like youth in revolt. Right, let's look at our next story. A dad-to-be proudly filmed an emotional countdown to his new baby's birth. But he didn't tell the mum in labour he was live streaming the whole event.
What?
The comedian's nervy narrative added to the tension of the scene as he peppered the filming with little ditties and songs about his new baby. Sadly, we don't have a picture for this one, but Mike, if you were put in that position...
No. Who was this guy? What comedian? We've got a name. It's just
I don't think... do we have a name for the comedian?
Who was this guy? It wasn't me. That's just,
I believe he had big clown shoes.
What would your partner have done if you'd done that?
It killed me. I mean, I guess it's one of the most personal things. Well, I mean, you say it's one of the most personal things you go through, but there's a load of strangers in the room with you anyway. But I guess it's one thing to have the hospital staff in there. It's another to have...
It's filming the business end of it as a comedian. You're a fantastic doodler and artist and illustrator. You could have been doing quick court sketches.
Yes, but I mean...
Mementos to keep for the rest of your life.
But unfortunately, one of my hands was being crushed at the time, you know what I mean? So I couldn't really...
Multitask
and I was being sworn at a lot.
So I don't know, I'm shouting at you for not doodling during your...
I can't believe your partner's got such a potty mouth.
Well, it was, she because, I mean, we went in straight away. She couldn't have any drugs. She was beyond the point. She was a trooper. She had to do it without just gas and air, and it was intense.
Well, if you plan to have another one, tell her about a witty story we did earlier on about magic mushrooms. Yeah. Let's move on to our next story now. The Star Wars actor Carrie Fisher has admitted that her four-legged friend steals most of the limelight from her, so she figured she might as well make him badass to boot. She said of her dog, whose name is Gary.
Gary?
Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher has a dog called Gary.
Gary Fisher.
Gary Fisher. She said of her dog, Gary Fisher, who was always having his tongue hanging out, I just want to get his tongue pierced. Here's Gary Fisher.
What?
Oh, she doesn't have the tongue. I thought she was going to pierce.
I was expecting a big ring then, a big bling thing in her tongue.
Gary Fisher.
That is an ugly dog.
Oh, Oh, really?
That is an ugly, hideous. That looks like the kind of, the offspring of Hooch from Turner of Hooch, but gone even more wrong.
What? Hooch and Tom Hanks?
That is the offspring of Turner.
No, it looks like a mixture between Chewbacca and Yoda.
I don't know if that's Carrie Fisher's dog, Gary Fisher, or the greatest album that's going to drop this year. It's a great picture. Right, let's look at our next story now. A photo has been floating around on the internet and making people scratch their head. Here it is. What is stuck?
Whoa, Mike, have you seen this yet?
The bricks.
Yeah, I have seen it, and I thought it was all a prank of just making people look at bricks for ages.
No, if people are at home right now and you remember the Magic Eye books, some people could do Magic Eyes almost instantly and go, oh look, there's a sailing boat. Oh look, there's a tortoise.
Yeah.
Some people couldn't get it if they could sit in front of there and just eat and everything else. Joe, do you know what that is?
I do know what that is.
Mike, do you know what that is?
Well, I know because people...
And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Well, I can sort of see it, but I've heard what it is.
That's all I can see.
It's like your
Can
mum
you not see
naked.
it?
Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
Oh, now I can see it! Yes!
It's a cigar!
I can
It's a
see
cigar!
it. To me, it just... Have you ever seen the movie Labyrinth? There's a little talking worm in the wall. That's all I've been seeing, the little talking worm.
No, it's a full,
I've just seen it now. I thought it was a prank. I thought, this is one of those jokes where it's making people look at a picture of bricks for like 10 minutes. I saw it. It's a big cigar. Yeah, it's a cigar. It's a big cigar.
There's got to be people at home, because we've taken the photo down now, just going, it was a stone. It was a stone. I swear it was a stone. It is a cigar. That's a really, really good...
I've literally just seen... I've been looking at that all day, and I've just seen it now.
I'm just going to ask our director, can we put that photo up again? Because, Mike, I've never seen a man
please.
so exuberant and excited.
There it is!
And once you know the cigar's there, that's all you see. You don't see the brick wall anymore. Because when I first saw it this morning, that's all I could see. I could see the tip of the cigar, and I could see that it was there. And I was like, "Well, I knew that there was something wrong with the image, and that's where it was coming from. But I could not, for the life of me, see a cigar until someone pointed it out. And then
I thought it was the head of an otter at first.
Just peeking.
Well, a very unlucky otter.
Very unlucky otter.
It looks like Groucho Marx has been walled in, doesn't it?
This is a plan that has not come together for Hannibal Smith.
What I wouldn't condone though is if you're a young wall. Maybe you've just been laid, maybe your concrete's just drying out. If you're a wall, I wouldn't really say start smoking.
Just been laid.
Yeah.
At least start with cigarillos.
maybe vape, because we might see walls vaping in the future if fire exit doors start, going up to cigars. It's not a good thing.
Someone wants to Photoshop that with a vape instead of a cigar, that would be fine.
And that would ruin the whole fun of it. But it was nice to see your childlike happiness.
Literally, I've been looking at that photo all day and I've only just seen it now. It's the TV, I don't know. Yeah.
Right, our final story of this absurd lineup is the deadline to register to vote in the referendum is June the 7th. So to try and encourage young people to vote, David Cameron is using Tinder. Get out of town.
Really? He wants to match with the EU.
Oh.
David Cameron could be using adverts that are designed to resemble a profile. So don't panic if you accidentally swipe left. I don't understand what that means because I don't have Tinder. But I believe, does swiping left mean I want it?
I don't know.
I don't know which swipe is where.
And now we're just going like.
The left swipe is.
I'm being told by our director that swiping left means that you like someone.
Oh, okay.
Which tells me more about her than it does about anything else.
Is this the new voting system they're going to be
Is this how we're going to vote on the EU? Swipe left for Brexit, swipe right for, I want in. It's David Cameron on Tinder.
Yeah.
I think this is possibly the end of days. We were talking about the Twitter dying. Tinder, burn it with fire.
I want to say, what's his profile picture going to be like?
Stop it, we're all thinking the same thing, and they do look particularly cute if you put ribbons on their heads.
I'm still thinking about the cigar. Think about the cigar. Think about anything else.
I think we're now going to have just a moment of reflection to think about David Cameron on a social network. It's like, in the interest of fairness and balance, would you put Jeremy Corbyn on there and whatever the Liberal Democrats leader's called? Sorry, Tim Farron, I know. Nigel Farage. Do you just swipe up?
No, but also,
if you're Boris Johnson, you just swipe up like that.
Yeah. Oh, do that on TV.
No,
if they cut that, that's going to be...
No, that'll come out in the edit. That'll come out in the edit, that's fine.
Is that the point we've got to in democracy where, in order to get the vote for what, may be the right or wrong decision, we need to go to Tinder to find the result, to get the right answer?
I bet David Cameron might also go on Snapchat.
Just
give us a brief one.
Chat roulette, what was that?
No. Okay, well, on that note, thankfully it's time to wrap up for the night. Thanks to my guests this evening, Joe Toms-Ashcroft, thank you. Mike Milling. Been a pleasure. And musician as well, Lauren Lavelle. The Daily Rundown is back at the same time tomorrow, but from myself and everyone else, goodbye.